ॐ ॐ यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्र संघपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्त दिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधाम बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। Let us do the chanting of the second verse in which we are presently. Sangha satsu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktir dridhakiyatam shantyadih parichiyatam dridhataram कर्माशु संत्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यताम् प्रतिदिनम् तत्पादुका सेव्यताम् ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्थ्यताम् श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् शान्त्यादिः परिचीयताम् ननु रागादि कलुश्चित्तस्य पुरुषार्थ विचाराभावेन तज्ञानाभावात् तत्साधने आत्मविचारे कथं प्रवृत्तिः इति आशंक्य कालुष्य निवृत्ति उपायमाह। A person whose mind is contaminated by raga dveshas, by several desires, considering something as conducive, considering something as not conducive, and thus that what is seen as conducive is desirable, and that what is not conducive then is seen as avoided. So all our life is spent only shuttling between these two. I want this, I do not want this, I like this, I do not like this. Well, another thing about this is even these likes and dislikes are also uncertain, because those things which you may like today, you may develop a severe disliking for it. some other day. And those things which apparently are disliked by you today, perhaps the same person may start liking it on another occasion. And therefore, these likes and dislikes on which most of the energy, intelligence, time, emotions are spent are uncertain, and therefore a person who strives all his life to fulfill these likes and dislikes, to run his life by the standards of likes and dislikes, at the end, what does he find? That it was all futile. And therefore, as a person keeps growing and he looks back at events and his investments in life, he finds that there has been no gain. I have just reached nowhere. I'm still standing where I began. So all that rush, all the movement, all the hurry that which was seen, then is valued as zero. Therefore, the person has not reached anywhere. Okay, and so Sharagadi Kalushachittasya. Now, because the person's mind is thus polluted, contaminated, rendered impure due to likes and dislikes, Kalushachittasya. And what happens with this person is he loses the vivek, or he is not able to develop the vivek of what is Purushartha and what is not Purushartha, what should really be sought and what should not, what is not worthy of seeking. Even with other Purusharthas also the same thing happens. Okay, so what is Purushartha, what is not Purushartha, Vichara Bhavena, Tashyana Bhavat. Now, because now he cannot reach the conclusion that moksha is indeed the, the Purushartha for me, he cannot reach. For him, spirituality seems to be some sort of a fad or some people's inclination or some sort of, just an idiosyncrasy. All these people are doing spirituality, listening to Vedanta. What is there? For these people, you will hear them even mocking, eat, drink, and marry, have fun and flourish. There is nothing more, and these people are simply losing time and they do not. So, for these people, their standards are going to tell by their standards, this is just useless. And why are they doing it? Because they do not have the viveka. And since because they do not have this viveka, tajnana bhava, there is lack of knowledge. Then when one does not know how that moksha is the purushartha and how this moksha can be fulfilled through brahmajnanam, why will even this person go in the direction to do atma vichara, brahma vichara? Okay, he will not even sit with his eyes closed to look what exactly is the meaning of this I. What is this world in which I am living, striving, suffering, enjoying? What is this world that is strewn all around me? Now, there is no such thought process initiated in these people. And the reason for this is because the chitta, because the mind of the person is dominated by raga and dvesha. Raga and dvesha means likes and dislikes by those things. Iti katham pravritti, how can such a person be ever drawn into Atma Vichara? Never. So katham pravritti iti ashankya kalushya nivritti upayamaha. what is it that will remove these impurities? So now the person becomes more capable, alert, huh, to do this Atma Vichara, Viveka. So this is indicated in the following instruction, Shantyadi Parichiyatam. So now we understand that why the Shankaracharya keep Shantyadi Parichiyatam as the instruction over here. Shanti Antarindriya Nigraha. What is the meaning of Shanti? People want Shanti, Shanti, Shanti chahiye. Are bhai, Shanti means Antarindriya Nigraha. One is doing about everything, scolding all the people around to keep quiet, keep peace at home, keep peace everywhere, even in the ashrams. How yet, why is that person not peaceful? Is not because other people outside are making noise, but because this person really does not have antarindriya nigraha, the control of inner equipment. What is the inner equipment? Antakaranam. So antakaranam is called as antarindriya because indriyas are karanas, and by that virtue, even the mind is also called as antarindriya. Okay, antarindriya nigraha. Now, the ability to, or the skill, ability, or a kind of a thought process by which the mind, the restlessness of the mind can be reduced, can be settled. And therefore, then when the mind is not as restless or even sinking into tamo guna with anxiety, depression, etc., at that time, what you call this state of the mind is that peace, shanti. So this is shama. Huh? Adi Shabdena, also we have said Shantyadi. Adi, what is the meaning of Adi, etc. here? Adi over here means not only pacification of mind, but also pacification at different levels is required. Pacification at different levels, even at the level of the organs of action and perception. Okay, that is also required, and that is called as Dhamma. Shama Dhamma. Uparati. Uparati means, the other day I told you that go back to Laghu Vasudeva Mananam and find out the meaning given over there. And it has got these threefold applications. So I hope some people who have already studied have gone back to those things. So Uparati. Then Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhi. There is something that we missed. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhi, Shat Sampatti. Okay. Okay. Adi Shabdena Bahirindriya Nigraho Grahyate. Itaresham Sadhananam Moolakarena Eva Tatra Tatra Pratipadanat. Now he says, the commentator says, over here, by Adi, we will just keep the word etc. limited to Bahirindriya Nigraha. So Shanti means Antarindriya Nigraha, and by Adi means Bahirindriya Nigraha. Okay. So question comes, sir, why are you saying that? Why don't you include rest of the four also and bring them here under etc.? Because there is a provision that etc. can create space even for four more. Why aren't you? So he says, Itaresham sadhananam moolakarena eva tatra tatra pratipaditatvad. Because The rest of the things have been spoken by the author meaning Shankaracharya, in the original 5 verses in different places. He has kept them, so they need not be brought over here because it would be a repetition. So he says just there, Pratipaditattva. Then what is the word? Parichiyatam. Parichiyatam means, it means in this present context, Abhyasyatam iti yavat. Abhyasyatam means should be practiced. And when will you practice? When the occasion arises. Only then will you know how much the mind becomes restless, how the indriyas are restless, and at that time bring these two values into practice. Okay. Parichiyatam abhyasyatam iti yavat. तथा च अभ्यासेन शान्त्यादि लाभे कालुष्य निवृत्तेः पुरुषार्थ विचार योग्यतायाश्च संभवात् तत्सिद्ध्यर्थं तद्विचारे प्रवृत्तिः उपपन्ना एव इति भावः. So also due to this person's sincere efforts, application to bring Shanti and Danti, Shama and Dama, Antarindriya Nigraha and Bahirindriya Nigraha. You know, Bahirindriya Nigraha you can try when you sit for lunch, dinner, or for your food. At that time, do not crave and cry about food. It is food, respect it and consume it happily. And over time, then you will discover that yes, food, even with little less salt, etc., was still able to satiate the hunger, was able to nourish the body, and also was able to make me happy. Why was I making myself unhappy and so restless? Because of this. And then you will discover that how futile was the whole thing. So, whatever dharma, whatever comes to you as the right food, as food, which is sanctioned, not that you eat something that is not sanctioned by the scriptures. No, food should have not only the qualities of taste, smell, presentation, but it also should have the quality of kindness, compassion too, over there. So, abhyasyata, तथा च अभ्यासेन शान्त्यादि लाभे कालुष्य निवृत्ते पुरुषार्थ विचार योग्यतायाश्च. Thus, when the rag and dvesh are settled, are no longer able to control the psychology of the person. So your thoughts, emotions, responses are not controlled by likes and dislikes, but thoughts, emotions, responses then are led by dharma, dharma vivek. What is right, what is not right. Okay. By that, just not because I like it, I don't like it, but is it right or not? That will help you overcome your personal likes and dislikes. I may like something, but that is not right. Then let me give it up. So just by that, what have you done? You have made an effort to overcome likes or dislikes. I may dislike something or someone, but is it right in this context? No. So now my dislike is not my master. I will do what is required to be done since that is right. Okay. So dharma dharma viveka has allowed you to do what? Rise above likes and dislikes. Now, with this, what will happen? The mind which is thus peaceful now becomes capable of Atma Vichara. It gains the capacity to do Atma Vichara. And therefore, now person can definitely employ himself in that direction. Purushartha Vichara Yogyatayascha Sambhava Tat Siddhyartham Tad Vichare Pravritti Upapanna eva. Thus now its pravritti becomes logically possible. Otherwise, it was not going to become possible. Okay, over here. So we have seen now Shantyadi Parichiyatam. What is the next instruction? Dridhataram Karmashu Santyakshyatam. We have seen in the earlier case that the person has now walked out of his house. He says that, okay, with a resolution in the mind that I want Atma, huh? Nijagrihat Purnam Vinirgamyata. Atmecha Vyavasiyatam Nijagrihat Purnam Vinirgamyata. He has left. He has renounced. Now, coming to this point, there are several other things also in between, but broadly over here, no, he is being told that karmashu santyakshata. Ashu means immediately. Ashu means that is why Bhagavan Shankar is called as Ashutosh, the one who is pleased immediately. The one who is pleased. So Bhagavan is called as Ashutosh. It does not require anything. Actually speaking, a person who is already pleased and who he does not require anything much to please him. He is already pleased. He can be happy. Okay, Ashutosh. So like that, that Ashu word means immediately. Like that, Ashu tyajyatam, parityajyatam, santyajyatam, dridhataram karmashu santyajyatam. Let us see that give up the karma immediately. Okay, there are two things over here. Nanu Shruti Vihita Yajnadi Karma Swavashyakatavya स्ववश्यकर्तव्येषु तद्वैकल्यनिमित्तप्रत्ययभयेन तदासक्तचित्तस्य कथम् आत्मविचारे अवकाशः स्यात्. But why is even this instruction brought over here? What is the reason that what must have prompted Shankaracharya or the Shruti to give this kind of an instruction? Because the person considers that he should be doing those things which have been advocated, prescribed by the Shruti. And so now which karma is he talking about? Kamya karma is already given up. Nishiddha karma, there was no question about the prohibited actions. They already were out of orbit. Then even the Kamya karma was given up. Then naturally only Nitya Naimittika karma is there. So now he says that this Nitya Naimittika karma, which means obligatory duties which have to be done daily or occasionally. There are different ones. Occasionally, Shraddha karma. Then not doing the Nitya Naimittika karmas brings one defect. And what is that? It is called as pratyavaya dosha. It is a kind of a pap. What is it? Pratyavaya. Doing something wrong generates pap. Understood. But even not doing what is required to be done also becomes a cause of pap, pratyavaya dosha. Now, in fact, this point has been debated a lot. And we say that why a person is not doing what he's supposed to do, because at that time he is doing what he's not supposed to do. Okay? He will be doing what he's not supposed to do, and hence he could not do what he's supposed to do. And therefore, this generates absence of karma does not generate pratyavaya. Because absence cannot generate anything. Absence cannot generate anything. It cannot become the karana. So not doing is absence of karma. How can it generate anything? We say no, it is not just that. It is at that time the person will be doing something that he is not supposed to do, and that is what will generate the pratyavaya dosha. And then when a person's mind is thus attached only to doing and not doing, and this is to be done, now where even the person is righteous, the person is righteous, yet because that mind is presently engaged only in doing and not doing, doing and not doing, where is the luxury for that mind even to do Atma Vichar, that we cannot do. And therefore, Tad Vaikalya Nimitta Pratyabham Tadasakta Chittasya Katham Atma Vichare Avakashaha. How can such a mind then have Atma Vichar? Okay. Which means the Viveka, what is Atma, what is Anatma, what is Brahma, what is not Brahma. So over there, that Avakashaha Katham Syat, and therefore now Dridhataram Karmashu Santyajyatam, this is the instruction. Atma Vichara Yogyata Anantaram iti Sheshaha. Okay. Now, when can a person really give up the karma? Is the question. Uh, in works like Jivan Mukti, Viveka, etc., we have seen that it was very clearly told to us that what is the cause of sannyasa. Sannyasa means giving up of the karma only. Karma sannyasa, sarva karma sannyasa is sannyasa. Giving up pleasures of life is sannyasa, and living like this in forest is called sannyasa. No, sir. Sannyasa, the meaning of word sannyasa goes to what? To karma sannyasa, giving up the karma. Now, when can sannyasa be taken? So it was told to us that in order to take to sannyasa, there should be vairagyam. What should there be? Vairagyam. Okay. And we have also understood the meaning of word vairagya. It means what? Drishta anushravika vishaya vitrishna. What is vairagyam? Vairagya means drishta anushravika vishaya vitrishna. Vitrishna is the main word. Vitrishna means thirstlessness. The sense of longing. I want it, I want it, I want it, not there. discover that what is it that is not wanted, or what is it that is wanted, first of all. And we will find you are either talking about objects of this world or of the other world. So thus when a person, but through his verification, he comes to a very firm conclusion, the psychology now is changed, transformed. Wherein the person says that whether that object is drishta or anushravika, drishta or anushravika. It is not drishta or adrishta. It is drishta and anushravika. Heaven, etc., or the damsels in heaven is not something that is adrishtam. But what is it then? It is anushravika. It is revealed to you by the scriptures. Anyway, the Swarga is like this. But I do not want it. Drishta anushravika. When a person is not allured by drishta or anushravika vastus, now that mind, this state of mind is called as Vashikara Samshna Vairagyam. This is Vairagyam. Ihalaukika Paralaukika Artheshu Tat Sadhaneshu Vitrashna is called as Vairagyam. This is Vairagyam. So once when we have certain Vairagya, but that much Vairagya is not sufficient for sannyasa. Then when does he say that it becomes good enough for sarva karma sannyasa, for dridataram karmashu santyajyatam? It means only when this Vairagyam is either tivra or tivratara. It is not fluctuating. It does not fluctuate. Generally, when you are insulted or rejected by the family members or some people or something like that, or you may face a loss of life or money or property or something like that. Somebody passes away in the family, or somebody who's extremely dear to you walks out, a friend or so. Now, at that time, the person, what is there? And then, that Devdas kind of a thing, the person becomes extremely udasa. The word udasa actually, though, is used in a little negative term in our common parlance, yet it has got a very wonderful meaning, truly speaking. But since it is used with a little negative connotation by us, that is the first meaning that flashes into the mind when spoken. Udasa, udasa means, ud means up and seated above. So whatever are the events and things are happening, now when a person is seated above, the events will happen, he watches them. But but it does not affect the person since he is seated above. Okay. Over here, when Ganga floods, the river swells and there is a lot of this, murky water running. And with force, it can even draw, even on other days also, Ganga is so forceful that it can even take an elephant. The current is so strong. Over here, when it is really in its, that gush of the flood, it can take away houses and wash away even buildings and trees and banks and everything. But people who are standing little far away and watching the flood, they are unaffected like that because at watching it from a mountain cliff. It is there but not affected. Seated above is the meaning of word udas. Like that. But now we are talking about Drida Vairagya, Tivra Vairagya or Tivratara Vairagya. When the Vairagya is Tivra, when a person does not want anything in this life, okay, next life he may say that, well, I will like to be born when Shri Krishna takes the avatar, incarnates again. He may have that desire. That's okay. But now, do you want putra, vitta, or loka? What do you want? Putra, vitta, loka is not desired. Swargadi loka is not desired by him. So we can say there is vairagya. And because of this, Kuti Chakra Bahudaka Sannyasa is there. But Hamsa Sannyasa and Paramahamsa Sannyasa, Hamsa Sannyasa and Paramahamsa Sannyasa is possible when the Vairagyam is Tivratara. Tivratara. Now he does not want to be born at all, even whether it is incarnation of Sri Rama or Sri Krishna or whatever. He says, no, I want to be free. How? Then there are two ways. One is, wherever the knowledge takes, wherever the liberation takes place, it will be due to knowledge. Whether this knowledge takes place here in this very life or going to Brahmaloka. Going to the Brahmaloka is for knowledge. And that time when, so this person sits, now goes into Brahmaloka due to his yoga. He has practiced samadhi, and by that bala of samadhi, that strength of samadhi, he is led into that also generates punya. It takes to Brahmaloka. Over there in that Brahmaloka, now the knowledge is imparted to him by Parameshti, Pitamaha. And therefore, what happens? Gets liberated from there. But there is another one who says, I do not even want to go anywhere and I cannot tolerate this delay. I cannot tolerate this delay. So here the knowledge I want in this very life and he strives for it. So thus the one who strives for knowledge in this very, for moksha, in this very life. Now you can understand that that person has to be extremely alert, intense, and totally dedicated only for that. Then that why he cannot afford to be, that he is not distracted, not that he is practicing Vairagyam. Because there is Vairagyam, now he goes that. It is not that he's practicing, he's trying to overcome the defects. No, sir, he has already, and therefore it is Dridhatara, Tivratara Vairagya. It is Tivratara, more intense, and therefore there is Paramahamsa Sannyasa. So who is called as a Paramahamsa? The one who takes to sannyasa, and the cause for sannyasa is Vairagyam, and that Vairagya is Tivratara. How is it? Tivratara. Very intense. Very intense. Doesn't even turn back and look at it. And that much Tivratara Vairagya is there. Doesn't feel like looking, oh, I wish I had a son, I had a daughter-in-law, I had some grandchildren. No. This thought also does not come to him even, oh, I wish I had a wife, I could share a little time and talk to her nicely. No, it does not. Putre, what is that? Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana is totally not there. And if after knowledge takes place, also there is sannyasa, and such a vidvat sannyasi is also a paramahamsa sannyasi. That is called as paramahams. Okay. Otherwise, in other places you will hear, oh, paramahamsa. Paramahamsa looks like some sort of what do they call, position, a special position, like some CEO of the company, Paramahamsa Mahatma. Are Paramahamsa means even a Vividishu sannyasi is a Paramahamsa sannyasi. Vidvat sannyasi is also Paramahamsa sannyasi. That is Paramahamsa. So now gives up the karma. Why does he give up the karma? Even before we have discussed this. What is it that he wants? Moksha. What is the means for moksha? Knowledge. Okay. Is knowledge, because the bondage is due to ignorance, and therefore liberation is due to, freedom is due to knowledge, because the bondage is of ignorance. So the means to moksha is knowledge. A. But this person wants putra vitta loka, something of that sort. He may want putra vitta or loka. In this case, is the knowledge the sadhanam, the means, knowing Brahma, Atma is Brahman? Will it give him putra vitta, progeny or wealth or anything? No. How do you think that by employing the wrong means you will be able to get what the right end that you desire? Therefore, sadhya sadhana viveka has to be there. Then for putra vitta loka, what is the sadhanam? Karma is the sadhanam. For putra vitta loka, karma is the sadhanam, and therefore karma becomes sadhana, or the means. For whom? For a person who is kamanavan. Who is kamanavan. So the one who is with some kamana, one who has these desires, for him karma is the sadhana. And one has to be honest to himself. There is no other way. Then the second thing over here is, there can be somebody who does not want putra vitta loka, but he desires chitta shuddhi. What does he desire? He desires chitta shuddhi, purification of the mind. What are the pollutants? Raga dvesha. How will the raga dveshas go away? How will you overcome the raga dveshas? By following dharma. Correct? We have seen that dharma helps you overcome raga dveshas by doing what is right. So over there, even for chitta shuddhi, karma is the sadhanam. So if the putra vitta loka is wanted, karma is the sadhanam. And even if a person does not want putra vitta loka, but wants purification of the mind, karma is still the sadhanam. But what karma not kamya karma. What karma? That karma which is karma which is obligatory duties are done with an attitude of Ishwararpanam, done with the attitude of Ishwararpanam. That becomes the sadhana. So, to for what, up to what point karma becomes the sadhana? Karma is the sadhanam definitely for a person who is ridden with desires. Karma is the sadhanam even for a person who does not have this putra vitta loka as intense desires, but who now wants chitta shuddhi. Okay, he feels that there is certain degree of that other desires also, but he now says that these are pollutants. I want to get rid of it. How? Through karma yoga. Through karma yoga. What is the meaning of karma yoga? Doing the obligatory duties with the attitude of Ishwararpanam. Bring Ishvara over there by bringing Ishvara over there. Up to this point, karma is the sadhana. But for moksha, is the karma sadhanam? No. What is the sadhanam? Jnanam alone is the sadhanam. And therefore, now, when the person who is already having chitta shuddhi and has the vairagya, so because of the chitta shuddhi, there is, which means he has the vairagya, and he wants only moksha and nothing else. Therefore, karma tyaga becomes the only way. Therefore, karma tyaga becomes the only way. And hence, Shankaracharya Bhagwan now over here says, Karmashu Santyajyata. This karma is to be given up. Ashu Santyajyata. Dridhataram karma ashu Santyajyata. This Dridhataram can become Kriya Visheshana, or it can become a Visheshana to karma. Because this karma is very, very deeply rooted. So to uproot it means to completely go to its, right up to its root, to finally, totally, completely give it up. Karma, which is Dridhatara, has to be given up. And then giving up of the karma means giving it up completely. And as it has been shown by the scriptures, not any, just by the way, there's a person, manmana, not whimsically. Dridhataram karmashu santyajyata. Okay. At this point, there are some there are some objections raised and answered. So let us look at it. Though some of you may find it interesting, or some of you may not even find it interesting, but I'm going to just give you a little glimpse of it. Nitya naimittikadikam sarva karma dridhataram api. So over here, the commentator uses this as Visheshan, as an adjective to karma. Okay. not as Kriya Visheshana, not as an adverb, but as what? Adjective to karma. How is this karma? Just as when we say rose and red rose. When said red rose, red is an adjective to rose. So the red word is able to tell you something more about the rose. It is a rose, but it is red. So something more about, so adjective does this work of telling you something more about, huh? It's substantive. The noun to which the adjective is added. That substantive. It tells you something more about the substantive. Red rose, like that. Now, dridhataram karma. How is the karma? Dridhataram. It is fast. Fast means not speed. Like, how these roots of the trees hold on to the clump of the clay, or that mountainside, fast, holding it fast. This karma is also well rooted, deeply rooted into the psychology. Over there, what happens then? Nitya naimittikadikam sarva karma dridhataram api. Now this person is not doing something that is nishiddha, etc. or kamya, but this nitya naimittika, the sense of his obligatory duties is extremely sharp and fast. Some people will have that, so what, even if I have become, 75, this is my duty. Sir, now your duty towards the children has already finished. They are adults. You have given them the education, you have given them values, how to live life, and that is sufficient. Is not it? What else can you give to your children? You have brought them up healthily, physically healthy, given them the necessary education to survive in the world, and also you have given them this set of values. Just giving education, clothes, nice food, skills to live is not sufficient. As parents, giving them values. And Puja Gurudev used to say, you cannot give values. But when you live those values are naturally then absorbed by your children. One will live exactly opposite, but you want your children to be good, and that's why you. मैंने बताया था. I kept on telling you. No, it is not just telling; they are observing it. They are not learning because you are telling them. They are learning because they are observing. So if the values are there in the parent's life, then it will naturally come to the children. And when you have given them, now they will face their own battles and emerge out, like shining stars, because you have given. Now your duty is finished. But the person, even then at 80 and 90, also he still has to say that these are my duties. Why are you? Because that sense of obligatory duties, etc. How is that? Now, though he's talking about Nitya Naimittika karma, but I'm not talking in those terms. I'm talking in, how you people see as duties. Okay. Because if I was to tell you that, Sandhya Upasana, etc., is obligatory, what is obligatory? All that thing it will become very nitya naimittikadikam sarva karma dridhataramapi vihitataya parityaktum ashakyam. Now, because it is vihitam, since this nitya naimittika karma, how is it? Vihita. It has been prescribed by the Veda. And therefore, vihitataya, because it has been told that it must be done, then therefore what happens? Parityaktum ashakyam. It is not possible to give it up because that is my duty. It has been told. It is not something that I am sacrilegious that I am doing or wrong that I am doing. It is right and hence I am doing it. So because it is right, I should keep on doing it. Parityaktum ashakyam. Okay? Api bahujanmasu kritam apiva. How whether and even if a person has lived a righteous life for many births, in spite of that, kritam apiva ashu means shigrataya. Shigrataya means quickly. As soon as you can. Ha. Shigrataya vihitam karma. Now question is, katham parityajyam iti alochanam parityajya eva ityartha. Okay. Now, how can that be given up, sir? Now, how can that be given up? This question has got two implications. One is it can be used as an objection and it can be used as an enquiry. How to give up, which means it is an objection. How can I give up? How can I give up? So the person wants to give up, but he does not know how can he give up. Then it is a question. It is an enquiry. But person does not want to give up and he says, how can I give up? Which means it is an objection. Okay. So we are not going to answer that person who has an objection. Just the kind of how can I give up? Over here is now inquiring. To him we will talk. Then whatever are the doubts, etc., are raised over here. Okay. Let us see these doubts about it. Nanu vihitasya karmanaha katham parityagaha sambhavati akarane pratyavaya shravanat. So what is the first doubt in this case? That vihitasya karmanaha, that these karmas which have been prescribed, how can ever they be given up? Why can't? What is the problem? Because in giving up, or giving up means not doing, in not doing what one is supposed to do, one will incur the sin called as pratyavaya. Huh? What is the papa that one will incur? Pratyavaya. Where did you hear from the Veda only? Doing what one is not supposed to do, the Nitya Naimittika karma brings pratyavaya. Pratyavaya is heard. And therefore, one cannot give up. Okay? Because pratyavaya is heard. Now this is but what has been said by the Shruti in another places, give up. Sannyasa is told. Shankaracharya is now exactly reflecting what the Shruti is telling. Therefore, now this seems to be a clash. That the obligatory duties cannot be given up because in giving up the obligatory duties, pratyavaya takes place. This is also told by the Vedas. And in order to gain Atmajnanam or moksha in this very life, there is this sannyasa is also told, which means giving up of the karma. Now these are two opposite. Therefore, there are these two clashes over here. should be given up, should not be given up, is the question. Okay, because both of this is being told by whom? By the Shastra only. Now, what is the Nirnaya? Let us see as we study a little bit more when we meet next. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashakita Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha